yoga flow. I wouldn't even call it a flow. It'll be a little bit more isolated, more haptic movement and deep stretching. This was a request from my friend Jill, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. So we're going to start seated, and if you have access to any kind of prop so that you're a little bit more comfortable seated, but I would love if you could do cross legs. So if you've got a couple of pillows to put under your sit bones, or even like a stack of books, just to build yourself up, because what happens is the knees, when they're really high, you're going to have to activate your hip flexors and your thighs, and we don't want that. We want them to knees to be lower than the hips so that you can have a little bit of a break in your legs. And then let's take the hands down onto the thighs. Press your sit bones, so your sitting bones, down in towards the earth or that prop that you have. And then gently soften the shoulders down the back and close your eyes here. Let's take a nice deep inhale together. And a full exhale. Good, and a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Last one, breath in. And breath out. I'm gonna do the same side as you, so I won't be doing the opposite. So just know that when you're watching the screen, I'm gonna take my right arm up towards the ceiling, place my left hand down on the earth. If it doesn't reach, that's okay. You're gonna side bend to the left. You can place that bottom palm down, have a soft bend in your elbow, and then I want you to pull your right shoulder blade down your back, flip the palm to face the earth, and then rotate your chest up towards the ceiling. You're going to feel a nice stretch and lengthen through the right side of your waist. Press that right hip down, and then breathe into your right lung. Good, come all the way back up, reach both your hands towards the ceiling, and then you're going to take your hands down in front of you. So you're going to walk your hands forward, press your sit bones down, and you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch potentially in your thighs and your hips. You might be quite high up, that's okay. You're just going to breathe here, soften into the body wherever it allows you to go, and then take 3 breaths here. And then slowly start to make your way back up. Nice, let's reach those hands up and overhead again. This time your left hand reaches, your right hand comes down, and then let's side bend to the right. Okay, pull the top shoulder blade down in towards the socket, flip the palm to face the earth, and then rotate your chest up, gaze towards the ceiling, press your left hip down, and breathe into the left sideways. 3 breaths. Slowly come back to center, reach your hands both up and overhead, and then take your hands down to your legs, and you're going to switch the cross in your legs. So bring your non-dominant leg forward, just so that we even ourselves out. Good. And then from here, you're going to reach your hands up and overhead, and then we're going to twist to the right. So you're going to open your arms, left arm comes forward, right arm comes back. That left hand can rest on your right thigh. And the back fingers just want to act like a kickstand, so don't lean your weight back. Keep your chest lifting in the back nice and long if you can. Let's take a big breath in here together. And then gently twist to the right as you breathe out. Good. Come back to center. Reach both your hands up and overhead. Let's twist the other direction to the left. Open, right arm forward. That right hand can rest on the thigh. Left hand comes back behind you. And then soften the shoulders. Pull the belly in, lift the crown of your head up, take a deep breath in, and then twist to the left, breath out. Good, let's come back through center, reach your hands up and overhead. And then take your hands forward, and we'll do that cross-legged fold once again. Let the heart melt down. If you're feeling any pressure in your knees, please lift yourself a little higher. And then let's take 3 breaths wherever you've landed. Good. Start to walk your hands back up. We're going to slide forward now onto all fours. So lift your hips, uncross your legs. You can remove the props, whatever you used, and then come to all fours, kneeling position. Let your shoulders be somewhat over top of your wrists and your knees underneath your hips. I like my toes tucked, but you can have them untucked if that feels more comfortable for the anatomy of your knee structure. And then let's take cat-cow here. So we're gonna lower the belly, the tailbone is gonna lift, the chest is gonna lift, creating that hammock shape with the back. Take a full breath in, and then gently round from the tailbone. You'll start to curve the hip bones up towards the belly button and tuck your chin in towards your chest. And then let the inhale take you the other direction, lowering the belly, lifting the heart and the gaze as you inhale. And then gently round the back, cat pose as you exhale. Good. We'll keep moving like this, but I want you to start to articulate the movement from the tailbone. So each vertebrae here, you can feel moving all the way along your spine, and then all the way back. Maybe you notice an area that's not moving as well as it could, and see if you can spend an extra breath or 2 in that space, creating that body awareness, which generally will flush fresh blood to the area. More oxygen can create more movement, more fluidity. Okay, let's come back to the neutral spine here. We're going to take a nice stretch for the shoulders and the back of the body. This is called heart melting pose. You're going to walk your hands forward. Keep your hips over top of your knees. Tip your tailbone up and lower the chest down. Now you might be quite high, and that's okay. If this feels really uncomfortable, really hard to hold, you're going to take child's pose and just let your bum come back to your heels. Otherwise, heart melting pose, let your elbows, your forearms come to rest, and then your forehead will land on the floor. Option here to tent up your fingertips. So you've got little spider hands, little suction cups. Then your elbows are going to lift, and you'll slide your shoulder blades down your back, and then take a little squeeze of your inner thighs so that your low belly turns on.
And then you've got that front body strength to withhold the back body. Good. Let's come to child's pose all together now. So untuck your toes, bring your sit bones down to your heels, and wrap your hands towards your feet. Let your forehead rest to the mat. If the forehead doesn't touch, feel free to stack fists. And let's just take a few breaths here. Good. Let's come back to all fours. We're going to walk the hands a little further forward so that we're in a kneeling plank position. So walk your hands forward first and then slide the shoulders over the wrists. You'll notice my hips lower, but my knees and my feet are still on the ground. Good. From here, find a little bit of a rounding through the spine, almost like that cat pose. And then press your knees down such that you feel the hamstrings and the glutes light up. Good, take a breath in here. And then lower for 5, elbows into your ribs, 3, neck long, 2, and 1. Beautiful. So we're on our belly here. You're going to slide your forearms forward. This is called Sphinx pose. So the elbows land under the shoulders. You're creating a 90-degree angle with your arms. And then press your palms down and back towards your body. And as you do this, you'll feel your chest pull through the head of the shoulders and lift up. Now with your feet, press all 10 of your toenails in towards the floor. And lift your kneecaps up. Slide them up the front of the legs so the legs get really strong. Good. Let the gaze come forward. We'll take a few breaths here. Pubic bone is pressing into the earth. So the front body, the abdomen is turned on here. Good. Let's take the right hand and you're going to cross it over towards your left. So now your forearm is on a diagonal. And then you're going to take your left hand, you're going to bend into your left knee, and then take a nice thigh stretch here. So you might just hold the outside of the ankle or the foot. For some of us who have a little bit more flexibility, you might take the palm towards the toes. Okay, you might flip your fingers to face the back, and then elbow points up to the ceiling, and then gently press that heel down towards the floor. Okay, let's release that side, and then we'll do the other side. So bring your left forearm down, cross the palm. Take your right arm, reach back for your ankle. If you can't reach, you can absolutely use a strap if you've got one, or a belt if you're at home. Belt works really well. And then again, if you're pretty open here, you can take the top of the right palm onto the foot, elbow bends up towards the ceiling. Maybe you flip the grip so the fingers are pointing to the same direction of the toes. And then use the strength of that arm to press your foot down. Let's slowly release from here. Come back to Sphinx pose. Take an inhale breath, lift the chest. And then exhale, lower your heart down, release your hands, bring them beside the ribs, tuck your toes under here, And then press your way back up to that kneeling plank position. And then come to sit on your heels, but tuck your toes under. So this is called toe breaker. It gets pretty intense for some of us. So if that's you, your hands can be here on the floor. If you're coming with me, your hands walk up onto your thighs, and then just untuck the pinky toes. They tend to miss out. Okay, now from here, with the weight on your heels, you're going to feel like you're closing the toes. So as if with my hands, I can bring my fingers in towards the palm. That's the action I want you to take with your feet. So they get a little bit active. It almost feels like there's a little lift of the body up when you do this. Press your toes in, curling them back towards the soles of the feet. We'll hold this for 10. Don't forget to breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, stay as you are. Take a little break if you need, bring your hands forward. And next what we're going to do is take the toes in the opposite direction, as if you could fan them up and curl them back towards your shin bones. Okay, so there's a lifting again of the front of the foot. We're strengthening the front of the foot. And then we'll hold this for 10. Good, stay. Another time, gripping the toes this time, curling them in towards the soles of the feet. 10. And then the opposite direction, fanning the toes, lifting them up towards the top of the foot. We'll hold for 10. Take your hands down to the floor, untuck your toes, and then tap the tops of your feet into the mat. We're going to take the opposite of that now, so leave the toes untucked, bring the knees together, and then let the sit bones come to your heels, and walk your hands back. Now some of us, we might start to get a pretty intense stretch here. Stay, or walk your hands a little further back, and then option to float the knees up. This is very, very intense on the tops of your feet. So please be mindful and breathe here. Let the knees lower down. Stay as you are. Walk your hands a little further back. And then press your knees into the earth. Feel the front of the quads lift up, maybe a little opening for the hip flexors and the chest. Take a deep inhale here. And a full exhale. Walk those hands back forward. We'll come to that tabletop position. And again, it might feel good to tap your feet. Okay. On. Let's come to one hip, so bring the feet forward out in front of you. So this is one of my favorite ways to strengthen through the quads. You're going to slide your right knee, right heel in towards your sit bone, and then you're going to stretch your left leg out in front of you. Okay? There'll be about a fist distance between your foot and your leg, so you can measure that out. And then here, we're going to wrap our hands underneath the window of the right leg. So I want you to take your hands as far up to the arms or the shoulders as you can, and then drive your right heel down, tuck your chin in towards your chest, and you're going to float your left heel off of the floor. The left leg is going to come all the way up, maybe half an inch, maybe an inch. Hold it here for 10. Let it down. Nice. Okay, step
level 2, take your right foot a little further forward. So now there's more space and there's more rounding through the back. So what this does is isolate the quad on that left leg to do all of the work. Okay, flex your left toes, lift the kneecap, and then float that heel an inch off the floor. You got it. Hold here for 10. Hello, lower it down. Nice. And then you're gonna take your right knee wide. Bring the sole of the foot to connect now to that left inner thigh. You can draw the heel a little closer towards the bum. And then let's lift the chest up. Take a full breath in here. And then we're gonna fold forward, stretching out the back of your left leg. So your hands can rest on the ground, hands can come onto your shin, your ankle, your foot. Good, and wherever you've landed, take a little lift of the spine with a breath in, and then gently fold yourself deeper, breath out. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Okay, slowly start to roll yourself back up. And then you're gonna bring your right knee, stack it high once again. Your left hand is gonna grab for the outside of the right leg, and then the right hand is gonna come down behind you. So again, a spinal twist. I want you to lift your heart up, find a nice long spine, and then gently twist your heart towards the back of your mat. Okay, some of us are going to take that left hand to the outside of your right foot, and then gently lift that foot, kick the heel towards the front of your mat, maybe lift your back arm. Good, take a nice inhale here, and exhale. Place it all back down. All right, let's do the other side. You're gonna straighten your right leg this time. Bend into your left knee. Hands are gonna weave underneath the window of the legs. Flex the foot, round the spine, tuck your chin into your chest, and then isolate that quad and lift your right leg as high as you can. Hold it here for 10. And 1, let it come down. Walk that left foot a little further forward. Round your back, tuck your chin, and then lift that right leg. Hold it here for 10. And 1, lower it down. Beautiful, gang. You're gonna let your left knee fall wide, bring the sole of that foot inside the line of your right leg, either towards the ankle bone or in towards the sit bone. Little hamstring stretch here. Let's take the hands up overhead, find a deep inhale, and then fold yourself forward. Hands come down to the floor, onto your calf, your ankle, your foot. And then wherever you've landed in the depth, take a little lift of the chest here with the inhale. And then soften the heart down, exhale. 3 breaths here. And then slowly come back up. You're distance between your foot and your inner thigh. Right arm is going to wrap for that knee that's bent. Left hand is going to come behind you, finding that spinal twist once again. You're going to lift through the spine as you inhale, and then twist your heart towards the back of your mat as you exhale. Option for that right hand to grab the outside of the left foot. Gently start to straighten that leg and lift it, and then reach your left hand back. Good. Take a deep breath in here, and then release. Bring the left leg straight down beside the right. I like to put a fist distance between my feet. Pull the fleshy bits from around the sit bones out from underneath you, and then flex your feet, so lift it towards the shins and soft bend in your knees. We're going to take the hands up towards the ceiling, find a big breath in, and then reach your heart forward, your hands forward, let the hands land, and then inhale again, lift, and exhale to fold. And then again, inhale to lift, exhale to fold. Inhale, lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, exhale, fold, and stay here this time. Now, if you're quite flexible, you can straighten the legs. But for me, I actually feel better when I have my knees bent and I press my heels into the ground, so there's a slight activation in the legs. Good, we'll take 3 breaths here. And then slowly roll yourself back up, nice. This time we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, butterfly pose. And again, a little bit of a different variation. Most of us pull the heels really close, but it's a lot of pressure on your knees, so we're going to press the heels further away, creating more of a diamond shape. All right, and then here, take the hands onto your shins, lift your chest up with an inhale. And then fold your chest forward towards your heels, exhale. And then again, find that lift as you breathe in. And then lower, breathe out. Lift up, inhale. And lower, exhale. Lift up, breathe in. A little deeper, breath out. Good, hold yourself here. Hands can grab onto the feet. They can weave underneath the shins if you've got that much space. And then let your head fall down. 3 breaths here. Good, and then we'll slowly rise back up, grab the outside of your knees, bring them together. And then we'll take a seated child's pose. So wrap your hands around your shin, round your back. Let your head drop down, and just take 3 breaths here. It's a nice stretch for the back of the body. Okay, rise back up. We're going to take it into the hips now. So you're going to bring your right shin forward and parallel with the front of your mat. And then your left thigh is going to be parallel with the front of your mat. So I'm creating 2 90-degree angles with my legs. I want you to flex your feet and then square your shoulders forward. So I'm leaning quite far onto my right hip. That's okay. Shift the shoulders forward and then lift the spine. Now from here, walk your hands in front of your right shin. You're going to feel a little bit more weight and load into your right leg. Drive both of your knees in towards the earth, okay, and then reach your right arm forward. Again, creating more load on that front leg. Really flex into the foot. You're going to feel the hips starting to work here. Let the right hand come down. Reach that left arm forward. Bring it down. Both hands on the earth. Now lift your left heel. Flex that back foot. We're creating an internal rotation with the back leg. Lift it a little higher, higher, higher. Lower it down. Lift it up, higher, higher, higher. Lower it down. Lift that back ankle, that heel up, 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 and down. Good. Take a big inhale here. And then fold your heart, come down onto your forearms. Maybe the chest lowers over the thighs. If this is too intense right away, walk your body towards your knee. If you need more, walk your body towards your foot. And then let yourself, your chest lower, your head lower. Maybe using one of those props, the pillows or books or blocks if you have them, to place underneath your forehead. And we'll take 5 breaths here. And then slowly start to rise yourself back up. Okay, we're just going to switch sides. So lift your knees, sweep your left shin forward and your right thigh back behind you. Find those 90-degree angles in your legs. Check them out. Flex into your feet. So when we flex the feet, it activates the ankles, it activates the lower legs, which saves the knee. So very important. And then square your heart forward, walk your hands in front of your left shin. Okay? From here, with the load, driving forward, pull both your knees, push them down into the ground, and then sweep your left fingertips forward. Bring the left hand down, lift the right hand forward. Bring the right hand down. Now your back heel, that right heel, lift it up. And then lift it a little higher, higher, higher. Lower it down. Lift it up, higher, higher, higher. Lower down. Lift it up, 2, 3, lower down. And then chest lifts, gaze forward, inhale. Gently lower the heart down over that left thigh as you exhale. Again, easier, walk your torso to your knee, harder, walk it to the foot. And then support yourself as you need to, 5 breaths. Okay, let's rise back up here. And then lift both of your knees, bring them forward. Okay, bring the feet hip width apart, so about 2 fist distance. Have your knees bent. Grab your hands to the back of your hamstrings, and then round your spine slightly and lean back until your arms move towards straight. Now this might be where you stay. You might start to feel this in the core, the abdominals. Some of us are going to float the shins up to parallel tabletop and then squeeze the legs together. Option to take your arms out wide to the sides. And then just hold yourself here. 5 breaths. Let your feet come down, let your chest roll forward, find a nice inhale, and exhale. Okay, I'm going to walk you through this. We're going to come down onto our backs, but first I want you to take your right foot and weave it through the window of your left heel and left sit bone. Okay, so it's the right knee will be pointing towards that front right corner of your mat. Now from here, you're going to walk your hands back and lay yourself down. Take your left hand and grab that right foot. Pull the heel in towards your tailbone. That's going to increase the sensation, the stretch on the front of your right hip flexor. You can work your right heel to center or wider to the left, wherever you're finding the deepest sensation. And then once you've landed, you can release the foot, take the hands up and overhead. You can grab opposite elbows. And for some of us, it might feel nice to straighten the left leg. I actually prefer to keep the knee bent. I find it increases the sensation. And let's take 3 breaths here. Good, and then release your arms if they're overhead. You're going to pull your right knee in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze here. Lengthen the low back, compressing the abdomen. You can roll through your right ankle in one direction and then the other. An option to straighten that left leg once again. Take it in the other direction with the ankle. Good, and then bend into your left knee. Place your right foot down beside it. You're going to pick up your hips and shift them to the right. Bring your knees in together to the chest and let them fall to the left, spinal twist. That right arm can extend out wide into a T shape. And if your legs are quite lifted, maybe placing a prop underneath them or between them to support. Let's take 5 breaths here. Good. Let's bring the knees back to center, firm your belly. Sweep your hips in line with your shoulders. We're going to do that whole thing on the other side. We'll stay on our backs though. So your left heel is going to weave through the window of your right leg. And then use your right hand to catch your left foot and hug the heel in towards your sit bones, in towards your sacrum. Let your left knee fall down towards the earth. And then pull that heel either to center or wider to the right to increase the sensation in the front of your left hip. Let go of the foot. Hands can come up and overhead, and that top leg can straighten out or stay bent. And then we'll take 3 breaths here.
bend your right knee, pull your left knee into your chest. Okay, lengthen through the low back, gentle compression for the front of the body. Option to straighten that right leg. Rolling through the left ankle, maybe in one direction. And then the other. And then taking the left foot down, bending into your right knee, picking up your hips, shifting them to the right, knees into the chest, or shifting hips to the left, knees to the right, spinal twist other direction. You can unravel the left arm out to the side, and then we'll take 5 breaths here. You're going to take an inhale and bring your knees back to center. Realign your hips. Bring the soles of the feet to connect. Your knees will go wide. Butterfly, recline on the back. Bring your hands onto your belly and then close your eyes. We'll find some breath here together. So inhale, press the belly into your palms. Exhale, release the air out the nose. Inhale, belly lifts. Exhale, soften. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then just let the breath go. Let yourself breathe naturally. And stay here for the last few moments.
Allow yourself to rest on your back for as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this practice, comment below. If you have any requests, please let me know. And if you can support in any way, then like, share, or go to the donations page on my website. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.